Hey, it's Kyle here, and I'll be doing the first book haul video I've done on this channel in a good while. I've been on a bit of a book buying ban. My to-be-read pile of books was a little bit big, and I wanted to get it down before I bought new books. And kind of with that in mind, the books I actually feature in this haul, I did not get to instantly read, and that's because they're all books I've read before. I'll probably will reread them at some point in the future. But let me explain a little bit more of the background behind this video. As you might have guessed from the title, all the books featured in this haul are Star Wars books. Growing up, I was a huge fan of Star Wars books. I actually got into it because my older sister, who also introduced me to the movies, she read the Star Wars books. So as I got older, I started reading the books as well. We both were really hooked into the series. And so as I got older, like when I was late teenager and she was in her mid-20s and stuff, we kind of took turns buying books. So that way we weren't having to, buy every single book. It was saving us money. So like, I'd buy one and the next one come up, she'd buy one, and we just would loan it back to each other. But whoever bought it then got to keep it. My sister doesn't really keep as many books as I do. After a while, she kind of starts weaning them out a little bit. So a lot of the books that she bought, a few years later, I ended up getting hold of them as she was ready to make more room on her shelves for some other new books. And that resulted in my Star Wars book collection being almost nearly complete. Almost all the books I'd read, I actually owned, except for a few exceptions. So this past Christmas, I got a couple of gift cards to a local bookstore as gifts. And I've kind of been thinking about while I really wanted to kind of get all the books in Star Wars I've read that I didn't own. So I went through my list and I figured out there were 11 books that I'd read that weren't a part of my collection. Luckily, those gift cards covered like 80% of the cost of it. There's just a couple books I had to pay for, and the local bookstore didn't have them all in supply, so I did have to pay some shipping and stuff to get the other ones sent in from around the country. But mission was accomplished. All 11 books were acquired, which one thing I didn't realize until I got these books, and I didn't kind of counted up how many books I have. I have now 99 Star Wars books. I'm almost 100. So maybe once I do get to 100, I might have to do some special video to celebrate that occasion. But with that long explanation on the way, let me kind of highlight the 11 books I got. I'm not really going to go into really hardly any detail of what these books are about, because honestly a lot of these, it's been 15 or 20 years since I've read them, so I don't really remember specific details to the books. Obviously I remember what happened in the general storyline of the various series, but breaking down by individual book, it's been way too long since I've done that. So these are just the 11 books I got to kind of finish out my Star Wars collection of what I've read so far. That doesn't mean I'm not getting any more books. So first up, sorry, I knocked over the first book. Yeah, the first book in the Jedi Academy trilogy by Kevin Anderson, Jedi Search. And then I also got book number 2 and 3 in that series, Champions of the Force, and Dark Apprentice. And sorry, Dark Apprentice was actually number 2. Champions of the Force was number 3. So those were a little out of order the way I'd stacked them. Next up is 2 books of the Hand of the Thrawn series by Timothy Zahn, who is my favorite Star Wars author by far. Spectre of the Past, and the second book in that series, Vision of the Future. When I reread some of these are probably the 2 I'll reread this soon, just because I'm obsessed with the Thrawn storyline. And even though I remember from back when I read these, the Thrawn books, I still enjoyed these, but they were my least favorite of all the ones. But it's been so long. The other Thrawn books I've reread a lot. I haven't read these since I've read these whenever they came out. Let's see, they came out in... Let's look at the copyright date. Looks like these came out in 97, so 22 years ago. So it's been a long time, so it's probably due for me to read those again. Next up, you have Dark Tide 1 Onslaught by Michael Stackpole. This is part of the New Jedi Order series. Then you have Dark Tide 2 Ruin by the same author, also part of the New Jedi Order series. Then we have Agent of Chaos 1, Hero's Trial by James Luceno, part of the New Jedi Order series. Agents of Chaos 2, Jedi Eclipse by James Luceno, also part, obviously, of the New Jedi Order series. And then Edge of Victory 1, Conquest, also part of the New Jedi Order series. And then lastly, Sacrifice by Karen Travis. Also, this one's part of the Legacy of the Force series. So those are the 11 Star Wars books I got to kind of bring my collection to completion in regard to everything I've read in Star Wars I now own. A couple of questions I have that I'd be interested to hear your answers to. I just mentioned how many Star Wars books I have, 99. I'd be very curious to find out how many Star Wars books you actually have. I know people have a bigger collection than me because I have not read all the Star Wars books, but I'm interested to hear the numbers. And then also, you know, a few of those were different series. They were all in the Legends, the old Expanded Universe books. But of all the Star Wars books, what was your favorite series? It could be something huge like the New Jedi Order, or like a smaller trilogy like the Thrawn trilogy. I'd be very curious to see what your favorite series was, and of all the Star Wars books. Old Expanded Universe, new Disney stuff, let me know. Thanks for watching. Like I said, I haven't really decided what I want to do, but when I get my 100th Star Wars book and I read it, I want to do something special. If you have any ideas of what I should do, just let me know. The one thing I know I'm not doing, I'm not ranking all 100, because I do not have the time to go back and reread all 100 books to rank them. So that's not going to happen. I might do something else, but if you have any ideas, just let me know in the comments below. As always, be sure to like the video. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. I'm almost to 900 subscribers. I'm really looking forward to making that milestone. So if you haven't subscribed, please do that. Help me to reach 900. And as always, may the Force be with you, and happy reading. See you the next time.